Thriller in Kolkata. It's time for the second test match in Nagpur. Deep Dasgupta is here with me to set that up for us. And from everything we are hearing, there's another green top on the way.
Which is a good sign, I believe. I mean, preparing for South Africa to a certain extent, and also kind of getting into that mindset. And obviously, you're playing Sri Lanka, so you can afford to do that as well to a certain extent.
Yes, and we've got to talk a little bit about the personnel. Some force changes. Bhuvneshwar Kumar not available, Shikhar Dhawan not available. You would imagine that would mean Murali Vijay gets a game straight away, which is a good thing. But would you be tempted at all to look at someone like a Rohit Sharma in your playing 11?
But where would he fit in? I mean, I would like to go in with 5 bowlers, and if that's what your plan is going forward, because it all seems like you're mentally kind of preparing for the next 1 year where you're going to play a lot of cricket outside the country.
Yes.
And that's where you need your 5 bowlers as well. So I think if you're going to prepare from for that 1 year, then you start preparing your combinations as well accordingly.
It's an important game for Murali Vijay, out with injury, then left out. It was a tricky call, obviously, but left out, and now gets an opportunity. And from India's point of view, he is kind of been their most solid opener overseas. So big game for him.
True, and I was a little kind of surprised when I saw the playing 11 last game. I thought Murali Vijay for me walks in, and especially on conditions like those where it's helpful for the bowlers. So yes, I mean he's obviously coming back after the injury, after a couple of operations on his wrist. So from that perspective, yes, it's an important game, and also I mean it's a very healthy competition going on amongst those 3 there. It only augurs well for Indian cricket in the future.
Yes, Bhuvneshwar Kumar missing, he's going to get married, so he's got other things on his mind. But that means that Ishant Sharma in Olla is the backup fast bowler available to India. Do you see someone like, do you see Ishant as someone who India can, will be relying on going forward in these overseas tours?
I mean, that's what has happened in the last 2-3 years. If you see every time, or rather more than that, if you see every time India's gone abroad, Ishant has been the go-to man, especially for someone like MS Dhoni when he was the captain. And looking at how Ishant's bowling, I believe he bowled really well in the Ranji Trophy, where he took off from the test side and went and played for Delhi. So I think, I mean, with all that experience and the way he's bowled, whatever limited opportunities he's got in the last 1 year, he's done well. The biggest issue was his length. He was a tad bit short on Indian pitches, or for that matter, the longer format. He's learned to bowl further up to the batsman. So I think, yes, I mean, somebody that you've invested so much, I mean, it's time to reap the dividends.
Yeah, India seems to be in a slightly peculiar situation in many ways, because all of the wickets that fell at the Eden Gardens fell to the seamers, and here are 2 of the premier spinners in the world available to them. Is this almost just a consequence of conditions? You can't do much about it, but would you then say play both of them even if these are the conditions?
I would like to see India going with 5 bowlers, and if you look at the top 5 bowlers, obviously you've got 3 seamers and 2 spinners in that equation there. So it's fine, because had Hardik been available, then could have been a different equation altogether. Then you could have gone with 4 seamers, including Hardik, the 4th seamer, and 1 spinner, which I believe would more often be the case when you're playing outside the country. But as of now, I think yes, I mean, and to be fair, I mean both the spinners that we are talking about here, I think they have the ability to pick up wickets even on flat or green top wickets as well, with the kind of variations both of them have. So again, that's again a very important challenge for these 2 to kind of figure out whether they can be as effective as they would be on more helpful tracks.
One final thought, Deep, before we finish up, because India were challenged in that test match, although they ended up coming very close to winning. They conceded a first innings lead. They were bowled out cheaply in the first innings, but there is a huge gulf between these teams, and all kept equal. India start favourites, huge favourites.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the toss was very, very important. We were discussing that if India had won the toss and bowled first, those 2 days would have been very, very different when Indians would have bowled. So I think the toss was very crucial in the Eden test. Like you said, if there's a level playing field, everything is level, then I think India, there is a huge difference between India and Sri Lanka.
All right, Deep Dasgupta will be joining us hopefully as this series progresses for more thoughts. Thank you so much. This is the test match coming up in Nagpur. India trying to take the series lead against Sri Lanka.